Alright, so to run a simulation in our computer of an Android device, we need this. We need Android Studio. This is the IDE and the program we need to run this. Now, this Android Studio, it's like 1.5 gigabytes. Right here it's 847, but after it's uncompressed, it's 1.5. So again, we need to download this, and it's really big. And then when we are done with this, we need to install more things. So this section is going to take a while, right? So take it easy. So okay, so if you're on Windows or a Mac, it doesn't matter. It's the same process. First, we need to download Android Studio, and on my computer, on this computer, I've wiped everything related to Android Studio, all the dependencies, everything. So I'm going to do the whole installation right here with you. So okay, so first we need to download. That's the first step. So download Android Studio. And then of course, the terms and everything else, blah, blah, blah. I have read, download Android Studio for Mac. And of course, I'm going to put it on download. Maybe I already have it, so it's going to replace it. So, okay, so the installation, the download will begin. And right here, of course, you have the instructions. First, I'm going to wait until this is done installing. So after you download everything on Mac, you're going to need to drag the Android Studio to applications. It's going to take a while, it's going to copy everything. Of course, if you're on Windows, you just need to run the .exe to run the installation process. So let's give it a minute until this one is done. All right, so that is done. I'm going to go to applications and run the Android Studio. Again, for Windows, you just open the exe. So it's going to take a minute. So almost done. Let's give it a minute. Okay, so it's gonna ask us. So we're gonna do open. Now on Windows, you might be getting the waterfall or the run as administrator or something like that. You just allow it. And then of course, it's gonna give you some options. So I'm gonna minimize this. We are not gonna really use it. And you're gonna get something like this, import something or do not import something. Now, I had this Android Studio installed in this computer. I've deleted almost everything. I believe I deleted everything. So I do not want to import settings. So do not import settings. So okay, it's gonna take a little while. So let's give it a minute. All right, almost done. It's kind of a loading. So right here, it's downloading things. And okay, at the end, you're gonna get something like this. You're gonna get this window. So what we need to do, we need to click on next. Now, it's gonna give you two options, standard or custom. We want the custom one. So click next. Now, the theme, this Android Studio, it's an IDE, and it's based on the JetBrains. I don't know if you know JetBrains. They are, they're a company that they make IDEs. I've used JetBrains a lot of times in the past, for a few years. Really good softwares, but I'm using Visual Studio now because it's free. that's the main point. Android Studio, it's free, but all the other IDEs from JetBrains, they are not free. They are cheap anyways. So we go to, I'm gonna select the dark one. So next, and now it's gonna give you different options. These ones are gonna be installed by default, the Android SDK, and notice how much it weighs. This is something that we will need to download. That the IDE, this setup, is going to do for us. Then with the SDK platform, we need to download the API 27, and then we will need to update something of this. So again, we need to download more things. We need to download the performance, more things. And then what we're going to be using, it's actually the most important part of what we want to use right here is the Android virtual device. By default, it's not installed, so we're going to select it. That's why we do custom. So it's going to download the Android virtual device as well. So with this one selected, we pretty much need to select all. We're going to click on next. Then it's going to ask you the emulator settings. How much of your memory is going to use. So I'm going to leave the memory right here. You can change it if you have more RAM, if that's what you want to do. But I would not recommend if you're on a Mac computer or maybe a Windows with low RAM to do this. To maybe select 7 or 5 or whatever, because this one, when you run it, it's gonna take a RAM of your memory. It's gonna take memory of your computer. And notice that you're not gonna be just running the simulator. You're gonna be running simulator, the IDE, maybe the Chrome, the video, and it's gonna eat a lot of your RAM. So keep it unrecommended. Now again, if you have a computer with 8 of memory, if you have less, you should be getting or maybe a new computer or upgrading the memory. So with 8, it's enough maybe to run one simulator. Now if you want to run both Android and iOS, the iOS one, and you're on a Mac, I would recommend to upgrade the memory, maybe on a 16. I have 16 on this machine, and sometimes, you know, I'm a little bit short. So yeah, that's kind of one more downside to this. So okay, so I'm gonna click on next, and this is all the things is gonna be download. It's gonna download. So a lot of things. Total download size 1.6. So we need to download more things, right? So I'm gonna click on finish. It's gonna take a while. You can see the details. So when it's done, I'm gonna come back. Okay, so the whole downloading, it's ready. So I'm gonna click finished. And right here, after you click finish, you're gonna get a bunch of options. So what we need to do, we need to open an Android project. You need or create an Android project. Now, if you think about this, I'm gonna go to the VS Code. We've already have an Android project. It's gonna be this one, right? The one we have right here, and the one we have inside the Android directory. So what we're gonna be doing with Android Studio, I'm gonna click on open an existing Android Studio project. So I'm gonna click it, and then of course we need to navigate to that project. Mine is gonna be on my course, React Native, then code, and I believe it's gonna be project 0. So if I open this, what we need to do in this case, since this is just for Android, we need to select the Android directory. Now I'm gonna click on open. It's gonna take a little while. So let's give it a minute. Okay, so after it's done, let me bring it right here. So you get this IDE, and you know, like I told before, this one looks like a JetBrains IDE. So okay, it's gonna give you the tip of the day. For now, we don't really care. Let me open this a little bit more. So at the bottom, it's gonna say Google Gradle Sync failed. Target, and you know, it's gonna do some indexing. So let's wait until it's done indexing. All right, let's give it one more minute. Okay, so at the end, after it's done indexing, it's gonna give you this error message, and this is actually okay. So whenever you run a project, this project we have right here, we created with React Native, it uses some libraries, some tools, or some other things. So this libraries, it's something that we need to install in our computer, because this is going to use maybe a Gradle version of something else, for example, and we don't have that version installed in our computer. So when we open an existing project, it's gonna read inside of the Android a file that says that we need to use a particular library, and since we don't have it on the computer, we need to install it. So we're gonna need to install this, and we just install it one time. Then, of course, when we create a new project, since it's going to be a React Native project, we will already have that dependency on their computer. So we just need to do it one time. But again, the first time, we need to install a lot of things. So, okay, so go to install missing platforms and sync projects. All right, so right here, we need to install the Android SDK platform 23. This is what we need to install. So I'm going to say accept. And we're gonna click on next, and it's gonna start downloading that. We need to do, of course, more downloading. All right, so let's wait until this is finished. Okay, so this is finished. I'm gonna click on finish. It's gonna do something, and then it's gonna give you, again, a different error message. Install build tools and sync project. So there's another thing that is missing. So I'm gonna click on this one, and it's gonna start downloading things. We need to download that. So let's, wait until the build tools are downloaded. Okay, so let's click on finished, and at the bottom, it's gonna start doing something. Resolve dependencies. So we need to wait until this is done. It's gonna take a few minutes, all right? So after that is done, you're gonna get this message. For now, we are not gonna really update. Just I'm gonna close it. And I'm gonna open this, and now at the bottom it's gonna look like it's doing something, but for now, we just need to wait just for a little bit, just a couple minutes. Gradle build running, so let's give it one more minute. All right, Right, so that is done. So what we need to do now, we need to go to Tools right here at the top. Now inside of Tools, you're going to get an option that says AVD Manager, or maybe a different option that says Android, and then inside AVD Manager. That's what you can get. So if you select AVD Manager, you're going to get this screen, right? You're going to get this screen. And this is the default device. You know, the device by default they're going to give you is a Nexus. Of course, this is an Android, so they give you a Nexus. But of course, you can click on Create a Virtual Device and select, you know, something else. A Pixel, maybe, you know, maybe a generic phone. So you can create your own simulator right here. So for now, I'm not going to really do it. I'm going to just use the default one. So in the right side of the screen, what you can do, you can press on the button play, on the play button, and when you click it, at the bottom it's going to say starting AVD. So that is good. If you get that, it's because it's actually working. So it's going to take a little while, and you should be getting a new process called Emulator or AVD Manager or something like that. So it's going to take a minute. Okay, so after it's done, let me just bring what you get. 1 second. There we go. You're gonna get this simulator right here. So I'm getting this message because I had a previous version, but after a while, and you need to wait for it. Sometimes this boot could take a few minutes. So you know, just don't panic. Just give it a minute. It's gonna take a couple minutes, and then you're gonna get the white screen with the loading Google. And of course, it's going to load, it's going to boot, and then it will give you the main screen of the phone. So let's give it 1 more minute. Okay, so after it's done, you're going to get this screen. So if you get this screen, it means that you're good to go, right? You're good to go, of course, to run the to simulator. We need to do more things. Yeah, sorry. So what we will need to do first, before we can even, you know, try to run our application, we need to check some things. So go to the terminal, right? I'm going to open the terminal, and I'm on the same project right here. Okay, I'm still on my directory, the directory of our application. So now what we need to do, maybe, it's to install the Java development kit and the Java runtime environment. I'm not going to really do it because I've already have it on my computer, but if you don't have it, because most likely you don't, you need to search on the web Java Runtime Environment, and you're gonna get Java SE Runtime Environment 8. You can use the 8, maybe you're gonna get the 9, so you can install that one as well. And then the other one, the other one we need is gonna be this one. It's gonna be the Java SE Development Kit. So there are two different, Runtime Environment and Development Kit. I have the number 8, the version 8. And they work. So if you get the 8, that's going to work really good. If you have the 9, that should be working good as well. All right. So this is the first thing that we need to do. So let me just get this out of the way. So now there's one more thing we need to do, and it's really easy to do on Mac and not so much on Windows. Maybe when you install the simulator and everything else, it you know, installed this for you, but maybe it didn't. So how we can check it? So what we need to check is something that calls ADB. ADB. So just type on your terminal ADB and press enter. Now, if you get something like this, you know, like a list of rules, it means that it's already in your path, so it should be working. So ADB, let me just scroll to the top. It's really long. So ADB, it stands for Android Debug Bridge. So this is something that your application, it's going to need to make that bridge connection between what we want to run, which is your application, and the simulator. If that is not in your path, nothing is going to work. So if it's not in your path, if you type ADB, and that, of course, it's not this version or the list, and the version it's not really showing. On Mac, what you can do, you can run a command. Let me just show you. I have it right here, don't worry. So I'm gonna copy, let me make this a little bit bigger. I'm gonna paste. So what you need to type in your terminal, it's export path, then path users, and the name of your user. Mine, it's Apple. Yeah, I know. I wanted something easy and not my name. So I just typed Apple. It's a funny story. Don't worry. Then library, Android SDK, and the platform tools. So it will add to your path the platform tools. Okay, so on Mac, you just run this command. I'm gonna add something on the resources on this section, on this video, so you can copy the path from a file. I'm gonna be maybe adding a JavaScript file with maybe the links of the Java runtime environment. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so you just run this, and after you do this, you're gonna be able to run the simulation. Now again, if you're on a Windows machine and you're not getting anything from ADV, just give it a minute. Go to the next video, go to the next section. Just keep watching, and of course go to the next section. I'm gonna tell you how to add something to the environment variables. Maybe you already know how to add something to the environment variables. So that's what you need to do, man. Just go to the environment variables and add the path. If you don't know how to do it, don't worry. On the next section, I'm gonna go to my Windows machine and show you how to do this. Now I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna delete this. We don't really need it. I don't really need it. So okay, so I'm gonna go back to the terminal. So how can we run our application on the simulator? Okay, so I'm gonna go to the emulator and go to the terminal. Make this a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna do clear, and now to run our application, we need to do yarn. Oh, sorry, made a mistake. There we go. We need to do yarn or npm if you're using npm, and then run, and then Android. So I'm gonna press enter. On my version, it's gonna be a little bit faster because of course I have a very fast machine in this case. So it's gonna be a little bit faster maybe than your machine. But if on your machine takes like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something like that, that is normal. All right, it's completely normal, and that only happens the first time you run an application. On the next times, after you rebuild maybe tomorrow you want to run it again, it's going to be much faster. Okay, so I'm going to press enter, and okay, so after it's done, it's going to open a window right here with the loading dependency graph. So it's going to start doing all the configuration, you know, start doing all this, installing everything, building and installing the app on the device. And after a while, you're gonna get something right here with the loading saying bundle. So you need to wait until this is 100%. Like I told before, mine is gonna be really faster. So after it's done, you're gonna get 100%, and you're gonna get the message on your screen, open app to start working in your app. So this is the message we have right here. So if I make a change, whatever, and I save the file, on the simulator, to reload this, because it will not reload automatically, so we need to double tap the letter R. And this is on Android. On the iOS, it's going to be a little bit different, but we're going to get there. So when you double tap the letter R, you're going to get Delta, it's going to bundle again, and there you go. You get the changes. Right, so you know, everything works. Okay. So again, if you're getting messages, something like ADV, like the DVS, you need to add the link I gave you on a file. You need to add it to your environment variables. If you're getting an error with Java, it's because you need to install the Java SE and the development kit, right? You need to do that. That's 90%. That's the whole mistake, you know, that the whole error. And after that, you're going to be able to run Android. Now, if you're on a Mac, of course, on the next sections, then a few sections, we're going to install the simulator for iOS, which is the Xcode, all right? So let's go to the next section. It's going to be a Windows-only video. So I'm going to show you how to add the DVS to the environment variables.